Hello students, today we are going to learn about the different hormones of the pituitary gland. So first one is growth hormone, that is GH. This is the most abundant hormone synthesis by the anterior pituitary gland. As we know, this is the hormone which is released by the anterior pituitary gland. It stimulates the growth and division of most body cells, but especially those in the bones and the skeletal muscles. So this hormone is responsible for the growth and division of the different cells, especially the bones and the skeletal muscles. Body growth in response to the secretion of GH is evidenced during the childhood and adolescence, and thereafter secretion of the GH maintain the mass of the bones and the skeletal muscles. So by the GH hormone, the growth of the body is take place, and which is evidenced in the childhood and the adolescence period of a life. It's also regulate the aspects of metabolism in many organs, that is the liver, intestine, and the pancreas. So the release is stimulated by the growth hormone releasing hormone. So the growth hormone is released by the stimulation of growth hormone releasing hormone and suppressed by the growth hormone release inhibiting hormone. It's also known as the somatostatin. Both of which are secreted by the hypothalamus. So by the hypothalamus, the secretion and the suppression of the GH hormone is maintained. The secretion is done by the growth hormone releasing hormone, and the suppression is done by the growth hormone release inhibiting hormone. Secretion of GH is greater at the night during the sleep, and it's also stimulated by the hypoglycemia, that is low blood sugar, exercise and anxiety. So the secretion is more at the night, and it is also stimulated by the exercise and hypoglycemia and the anxiety. Secretion peaks in the adolescence and then decline with the age. So the more GH is produced in the adolescence period, and it is declined with the age. Second one is the thyroid stimulating hormone, that is TSH. The release of this hormone is stimulated by the thyrotropin releasing hormone from the hypothalamus. So the release of the TSH is done by the thyrotropin releasing hormones, and it stimulates the growth and activity of the thyroid gland, which secretes the hormone thyroxine, that is T4, and the triiodothyronine, that is T3. So the growth and the activity of the thyroid gland is stimulated by the TSH hormone. Release is the lowest in the early evening and highest during the night. So the release of the TSH is low in the evening and the highest during the night. Now ACTH, that is adrenocorticotropic hormone. So corticotropin releasing hormone from the hypothalamus promote the synthesis and release of ACTH by the anterior pituitary gland. So through the corticotropic releasing hormone, the ACTH is released from the anterior pituitary gland. This increases the concentration of the cholesterol and the steroid within the adrenal cortex. So this is the function of ACTH. And the highest level of ACTH is at 8 a.m. and the falls to their lowest about the midnight. Now the prolactin, this hormone is secreted during the pregnancy to prepare the breast for the lactation after the childbirth. So this is the hormone which is responsible for the milk production. The blood level of the prolactin is stimulated by prolactin releasing hormone released from the hypothalamus, and it is lowered by the prolactin inhibiting hormone and by increasing the blood level of prolactin. So release of prolactin is done by the prolactin releasing hormone, and the suppression is done by the prolactin inhibiting hormone. Now gonadotropins. Just before the puberty, two gonadotropins are secreted in the gradually increasing amount by the anterior pituitary in response to luteinizing hormone releasing hormone, also known as the gonadotropic releasing hormone. So in the gonadotropic hormone, it is released by the luteinizing hormone releasing hormone. Rising level of these hormones at puberty promotes the mature functioning of the reproductive organ in both male and the females. The hormones are responsible for this is for follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. So these two hormones are responsible for the reproduction system. So first of all, follicle stimulating hormone, that is FSH, in female regulate the development of sex organs in the female, development of the immature ovarian follicles from the ovary, secrete the estrogen and the progesterone during the menstrual cycle. So FHS is responsible for release of estrogen and progesterone during the menstrual cycle in the female, and in the male it is responsible for initiation of spermatogenesis. So this is the function of FHS. Now LH. In the female, ovulations, maintaining of the corpus luteum and the secretion of the progesterone, and in the male it is responsible for secretion of testosterone. Now posterior pituitary gland. So the posterior pituitary works as a unit with the hypothalamus. Although the posterior pituitary does not synthesize its own hormone, it does store and release the oxytocin and the antidiuretic hormone produced in the hypothalamus. So the oxytocin and the antidiuretic hormone produced in the hypothalamus, but it is stored in the posterior pituitary gland. So first one is OD, that is the oxytocin, control the uterine contraction during the delivery and the milk ejection during the breastfeeding. So the oxytocin is responsible for the uterine contraction during the labor, and it is also responsible for milk ejection during the breastfeeding. Now the ADH, it is cause the retention of the body water and controlling the body water balancing mechanism. So the maintenance of the fluid and electrolyte, or we can say the water, it is maintained by the ADH hormone. Now the thyroid gland. The thyroid gland is situated in the neck, in the front of the larynx and the trachea, at the level of 5th, 6th and the 7th cervical and the first thoracic vertebra. So here you can see in the picture, this is the location of the thyroid gland. It is highly vascular gland and the weight is around 25 gram, and it is surrounded by the fibrous capsule. It resembles a butterfly in the shape, consisting of two lobes, one on either side of the thyroid cartilage and upper cartilaginous rings of the trachea. So the shape of the thyroid gland is a butterfly, and there is a two lobe in this gland, and the lobes are joined by the narrow isthmus lying in the front of the trachea. The lobes are roughly cone shaped, about 5 centimeter long and 3 centimeter wide. See, you can see in the picture, this is the right and the left lobe, and the isthmus and the trachea and the cartilage. So the blood supply. So the arterial blood supply to the gland is through the superior and inferior thyroid artery. The superior thyroid artery is a branch of external carotid artery, and the inferior thyroid artery is the branch of subclavian artery. So the arterial blood supply is done by the superior and the inferior thyroid arteries. The venous return is by the thyroid vein, which drains into the internal jugular vein. The gland is composed of largely spherical follicles from the cuboidal epithelium. These secrete and they store the choroid, a thick, sticky protein material between the follicles, are other cells found single or in a small group. Parafollicular cells, also called the C cells, which secrete the hormone calcitonin. Okay, so now the hormones of thyroid gland. So thyroxine and the triiodothyronine is the hormone of the thyroid gland. So iodine is essential for the formation of thyroid hormone. So iodine is important for the formation of the hormone. The hormones, that is T4 and T3. T4 is known as the thyroxine and T3 is known as the triiodothyronine. So the thyroid gland selectively takes up iodine from the blood, a process known as the iodine trapping. So the gland is take the iodine from the blood is known as the iodine trapping. The release of T3 and T4 into the blood is stimulated by the thyroid stimulating hormone from the anterior pituitary gland. Secretion of THS, that is thyroid stimulating hormone, is stimulated by the thyrotropin releasing hormone from the hypothalamus, and the secretion of the TRH is stimulated by the exercise, stress, malnutrition, low plasma glucose level, and the sleep. So the secretion of TSH is done by the stimulation of thyrotropin releasing hormone. Now the function of T3 and T4. So T3 and T4 are essential for the normal growth and the development, especially of the skeletal and the nervous system. So the main function of the T3 and T4 is the growth and development of the skeletal and the nervous system. Most often other organs in this system are also influenced by the thyroid hormone. Physiologically effect of T3 and T4 on the heart, skeletal muscle, skin, digestive and reproductive system are more evident when there is a underactivity and overactivity of the thyroid gland and can be profound in the childhood. So the influence of the thyroid gland is mostly seen in the childhood. So this is the function of T3 and T4 hormone.